loss of Jeff, I mean, obviously it's very significant. How do you deal with it?
You know, Skinny is a big part of when we go. He's usually going, and yes, it's a big loss. I think if we missed him in Vegas and the guys perform well, I believe that was a game, and guys just have to elevate and pick up. We will have Okposo back in the lineup tonight. Unfortunately, we're in that situation where it seems like when one guy returns, one guy goes at the exact same time. But I think that's a big boost having Oki back in there. And of course, you're going to miss Jeff. It's just got to pick it up.
I know that the Amherst are in Charlotte, but do you anticipate a roster move in the next couple of days?
Victor up front, we have obviously with Skinner out for a bit now. We still have Victor, who's coming back in. Had a pretty intense conditioning skate out there today, and Okposo coming back in. So we don't need anybody up front. Because we've had that. We got 2 back, and on the back end, we still have 7 that could be ready to go.
So Victor will be in the lineup then?
Okposo will be in the lineup for Skinner tonight. The rest of the group should be the same. Yeah.
What about the impact on the power play? I mean, he's got 6 of your 16 goals.
Victor?
Skinner.
Oh, Skinner. I mean, the power play needs to be better. It's if you look at our 5-on-5 goals, they're just about where we were last year, and they're pretty good when you look at the overall league. Our 5-on-5 goals. So when we look at our scoring, it's not down 5-on-5. It's not down overall in the sense of it's down on the power play. So you know that whole unit, and I say unit because the first unit gets a bulk of the time. They haven't performed well enough. We'll make a tweak on that with Jeff out. There's a pretty good player that's going in there, and you know, as it being a work in progress, even though Skinner's kind of led us in goals and done very well there, everybody needs to pick it up. It needs to be better, period. So, you know, the absence of Skinner is not great, but if the power play gets to where it should be, there's also enough other weapons to compensate.
The nature of Jeff's injury, is this a case where it's going to be, you see how he feels in the week, or is this something that you think it's going to be longer term?
I think it's what you said at the outset. In 1 week, we'll kind of know how far this thing's resolved. You know, it's one of those. It's more of, you know, when you're dealing with something like a broken bone. This is not a broken bone. You can put a timetable on it. This is, you know, a little different, softer tissue, and you wonder how that can resolve.
Can you characterize it? Is this something new, or is this related to the McKinnon thing still?
It's new. It's new. Yeah. Yeah. So it was the other night, middle of the game the other night. I don't even know the exact play that it happened on. So brand new.
You said the rest of the group is the same. There's no change on defense tonight?
There is a change. I apologize. I didn't mean to confuse you guys. Forwards. The rest of the forwards are the same. Okposo and Skinner out. We will have Ryan Johnson's going in. I don't want to say who's going out yet. I'm going to have another meeting with him now. So.
You know, Ryan's obviously a rookie, and he's never set out games before, and he seems to understand the process and handle it well. How has he just handled sitting out games for the first time in his career, basically?
I think you got to look at it the other way. He's probably not played this many games in a season in the last 6 years. So he's playing more games than he ever had in the last at a high level. You know, you figure before you go to play Division I hockey, you're playing youth hockey or junior hockey, which is an extension of youth hockey, say. Maybe you're playing 65 games, 70 games. When you go to college, you're playing 40, maybe 42 games. Here, you know, he's approaching that amount already, and he's going to play far more than 40 is my guess. So it's not that he's missing games; he's playing more games than he has in a long time, and you're giving him time to stay in to breathe a little bit. And again, Jack Quinn comes back for an injury. I mentioned he's going to be a better hockey player, just sitting back and taking in things that he didn't have time to take in when you're under fire. And you're under fire when you're playing every other day. You're just trying to gather yourself. You're playing depleted. You're playing in reserves, and you don't have time to soak some things in. When you can sit back and watch a couple games, you soak different things in. So for Ryan, I think this is an important part of his of accelerating growth. Is the best way to look at it, is to take a break here and there.
I would characterize probably both games against Ottawa this year as kind of cranky for both teams. Just how much are these two teams kind of, you have to play a little different game. You're kind of in each other's faces here.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's a lot of youth on both teams. If you look back 3 years ago, both organizations really, their future was is going to be based on the growth of the youth. I mean, they've brought in obviously more, probably more, experienced players to try to accelerate it, I guess. And they're measuring sticks. These guys, I think the guys feel it's measuring sticks, and it's become a little bit of a more of a battle in that regard. I think the players are very well aware of that in a sense, that there's pride in that, in both locker rooms. I know I've coached quite a few players on that team, and they're a very talented team with a lot of feisty players and grit. And I look at us as similar. And from the compete standpoint, you have two groups of players and lots of really good young players that know they're probably going to be playing against each other for years as both organizations get better. And I think when you look at the way the league is, they have gotten better every time we've played them, it seems, and they're going the right direction. I think it's inevitable. They're going to be they're already a good hockey team in my estimation. The league is as good as it's been in a long time, but they're getting better every time you watch them play. So it's a battle to see, where are you at now and where are we at now? Every time we play him, it seems to be that.
Tkachuk is such a great hockey player, but he's also willing to go sit in the penalty box. I think he's second in the league in penalty minutes. Is part of your game plan to get under his skin to see if you can get him over to the penalty box and off the ice?
No, it's not. I mean, he's. I don't think we have to get under his skin. Sometimes I've coached him. It's probably hard for anybody to say to even see this, but he's one hell of a person. And obviously one hell of a hockey player, but he plays that way. We're not going to change him, and I don't even think he's a competitive, ultra-competitive guy that rides the edge all the time. I don't think we need to provoke that. I think that's the way he is. I don't think teams actually provoke it. He ends up taking penalties because he rides that edge all the time, and he's an ultra-competitive guy. So we have to play our game, and it's in our best interest to focus on us.